Hello and welcome back. We're talking today about my VPI Traveler version 2 turntable fitted with the Dynavector DV10x5 moving coil cartridge. I've owned this table for 2 years now, and I thought it'd be a good time to share my thoughts on this table. VPI Industries needs no introduction to many of us audiophiles. But to those who are just starting this hobby and are curious about VPI, they're a family-based company. Used to be run by Harry Westfield. His son now, Matt Westfield, is in the driving seat, and he designed this entry-level turntable. Actually, VPI turntables range from about 900 to all the way upwards of 40,000 USD with their Titan series turntables. Today their entry levels are Cliffwood and Player turntables that have integrated phono stage and a built-in headphone preamplifier. This was introduced back in 2012 and was later improved in 2013, the version 2. So Matt Westfield designed this turntable in memory of his mother, the late Sheila Westfield. So this was introduced, like I said, back in 2013 as version 2. It cost about 1,500 USD. It is still available on the VPI store under B stock. Discontinued models, occasionally they come up. That's where I bought mine. Was about 1,000 USD, and it came fitted with an Audio-Technica VM95E, a very decent moving magnet cartridge. But I quickly moved up from the 95E to the VM95SH, one of the Shibata stylus, and I found that having much better improved sonics. Later on I tried out the Audio-Technica 440 MLA, which was an improvement over that, and then finally the Dynavector DV10x5 moving coil design. Let's talk a little more about the construction and design of this table. This table looks and feels very substantial, like much better than any $1,000 turntable that I've seen. It exudes the quality and feel of a much more costlier table. Starting with the plinth, it's a combination of Delrin in the bottom and an aluminum plate on top for added rigidity. Very substantial in weight and construction. In the bottom are rubber conical adjustable feet. That's a really useful feature, and the feet are good isolators from vibration as well. I placed this on my upstairs stereo rack, and the rack sat on a suspended floor. I've had other tables pick up footfalls and wobble as the music was playing if someone walked past the stand, but did not have any problems with this table as far as picking up floor vibrations from footfalls. Integrated into the plinth is a high torque AC synchronous motor, 60 Hz and 600 RPM, and boy does it have high torque. It comes up to speed very quickly, and it does not seem to slow down a tiny bit when using a brush to clean the record while the record's spinning on the platter. Now there is a small skid kind of squeal in the beginning as the motor starts off, and you can feel the initial vibration of the high torque motor spinning on the plinth and the tone arm for about a second maybe, and then the platter comes up to speed that fast, and then there's quietness, there's silence, and the whole system seems to come up to some sort of an equilibrium, and you're ready to play. You're ready to start cueing your tone arm. So the speeds can be adjusted here on the two pulleys for 33 and 45 RPM. The motor is superb. It is ultra quiet and accurate within 0.1% of the speeds. I do have this small habit of giving the table a little bit of assist and then turning on the motor. That way I don't hear the squeal, and it helps extend belt life as well. And talking to VPI, this squeal is not uncommon. It's quite normal actually. It's just the torque of the motor making that belt slip just a tiny bit. Then it comes with this super substantial aluminum platter, damped with stainless steel. It's quite heavy. It weighs about 8 pounds or so. Mine came with a VPI felt mat. I lost it quickly. I use another felt mat, but I also use the Acromat Funk slip mat, which is an improvement over Sonics in my opinion. Now the super fine part of this table is this fantastic tone arm. It's not your normal 9-inch tone arm. This one's a little over 10.4, maybe 10.5 effective length, and it definitely helps improve tracking. Let me explain this a little further. Okay, so why does a more effective length matter? So effective length is essentially the distance from the center of the pivot of the tone arm to your cartridge stylus. And you can see here in the position of the stylus and the cartridge with respect to the tone arm is not straight, but is at a slight offset, and that contributes to the offset angle. So if you think of the spiral grooves on the track of a record as discrete circles, the stylus has to come in at a tangent to accurately track the serrations of the groove. It has to come in at a tangent. With an effective, with a longer effective length, there is a obvious reduction in the offset angle, and that means the stylus is coming in at less of an angle to be on the tangent to track the information in the grooves. Additionally, lesser the offset angle, lesser the skate force too, the tendency of the force acting on the stylus to push it inward. Typically it's counteracted with anti-skate. It is to be noted that this table does not have specific anti-skate settings, but the longer the effective length, the less the skate force, and thus minimizing the anti-skate force required to offset that force. That's done by the twisting of this tone arm into this quick disconnect provides the necessary minimal force required for anti-skate. Additionally, there is no azimuth adjustment as well, but I used the Hi-Fi News test record to verify azimuth and anti-skate settings, and the left and right channel balance was pretty much identical and well balanced. So no adjustments needed whatsoever for anti-skate or azimuth on the cartridges I used. Another cool feature is the easily adjustable VTA, vertical tracking angle. There is this Allen bolt here that you loosen with the provided Allen key. Loosen it up, and with this adjustable thumb screw you can change the height and then tighten this bolt back on. The other cool feature is fine tuning of the vertical tracking force as well. It's done so not by moving this counterweight, but by turning clockwise or anti-clockwise this knurled piece at the end of the counterweight. The most useful feature I have found is because I like to tweak and change, swap cartridges, and this tone arm is completely and easily removable. This tone arm can be removed by loosening the same screw. So once it's loosened here, there's a quick disconnect of the tone arm wire. It comes out and the whole assembly easily comes out. And this is so much easier to change your cartridge when your tone arm is out like this. So that is a very finely designed tone arm, in my opinion. Back of the turntable is quite simple. Your power supplied PSU connection goes in here. Ground screw. Interconnects are not provided. You have to bring your own. I recommend keeping them short. I also recommend going for decent quality interconnects. I'm not saying spend hundreds and hundreds, but a good start would be the AudioQuest Evergreen or the cord interconnects called C-Line. They're about $50 for a 3 feet interconnect length. I would keep it about that length and not increase the length of your interconnect here. Okay, let's talk about sound quality opinions. My opinions on the sound quality of this table. The sound from the table with Audio-Technica cards and the Dynavector cards can be described as clear, big, and dynamic sounding. A deep soundstage, very good extension in the bass, very clear and expressive mid-range, and a smooth and warm high frequency. Now, the high frequencies I've noticed are in some extent influenced by the cartridge. The Dynavector moving coil design and the Audio-Technica VM95 SH Shibata stylus sounded a bit warmer. The Audio-Technica 440 MLA moving magnet sounded a little more sharper and clearer in the transient response on the high frequencies. So I think cartridge selection will determine high frequency presentation here. Very good soundstage, both deep and wide. I want to talk about some of the albums, some of my favorite albums here, and connect that to the sound quality. So here we have the Blood, Sweat and Tears one-step mobile fidelity pressing. This is limited. It's pretty much going to be going out of print very soon. Very high quality pressing or mastered from the original tapes. So this is a double 45 album. Disc 2, last side B, has 2 tracks, Blues Part 2, and then Eric Satie's Gymnopedie, their version of Gymnopedie. And Blues Part 2 sound, the track starts off with this organ sound, and the organ sound is room filling, deep bass, very clear tones, very 3D sound. And then comes the drumming and the vocals and the saxophone, and the vocal clarity is really good. It is full, it is deadlocked center stage. So is the saxophone. The drummings are the drumming solo is punchy, dynamic. There's very good texture in the bass drum piece of it, and the soundstage depth, I should say, is quite commendable here. You can hear the bass drum kicks. The bass drum kicks are located behind the plane of the speaker and to the lower left, but clearly outside and behind the plane of the speaker. That was quite fun to hear. And then the track transitions into the Gymno PD remake, their version, it starts with this strumming of the guitar that just leaps out of quietness and a black background, and the melody just comes through. It's a beautiful experience, and then towards the end of the track you hear footsteps walking from left channel to right channel, and then the slam of a door, and when that door slams you can hear the echo into the room and the decay. It was quite cool to hear that. So excellent pressing, guys. If you haven't gotten your one step Blood, Sweat and Tears MoFi, go ahead and do so. Second one is Gitz Gilberto, Stan Getz and Gilberto featuring Joe Bim on vocals. Also we have Astrid Gilberto singing 2 tracks here. This is also another beautiful pressing by Analog Productions. You've seen some of my videos. I really like the releases they put out, and in this album the vocals are stunning. They are so rich and full sounding, very emotive. They connect you to the music, especially Astrid Gilberto's voice when she's singing Girl from Ipanema, and there's another track in here where she sings Corcovado, sorry. It is beautiful. Big vocal images. Placement of instruments, a little bit fuzzy. I think it depends on the pressing as well. A little bit overlap here and there, but the sonic enjoyment I got is really good. Third album here is Santana's self-titled track. I think this is from albums from 1968. This is another Mobile Fidelity release, mastered from original analog tapes. Beautiful album. Afro jazz, Cuban rock style music. If you love Santana, this is an awesome one to get. If you like this album, this particular copy has gotten out of print, but it's still available on eBay. Some of the copies are new and sealed. The sound is warm, punchy, and it has so much rhythm and drive. It is so much fun to hear on this table. My particular favorite, I like all the songs here. It starts with Waiting and Evil Ways. Evil Ways here is a Willy Bobo remake. I like his version way better than Willy Bobo's. It just sounds more fun and energetic. The drums are again here punchy and weighty drum effects. Guitar effects are warm, and they fill the room. And my favorite track here is called Soul Sacrifice. That is the last track here, and it starts off with bongo drumming, and then the regular drum kit's bass drum kicks in, and that kick punches you in the gut. It is powerful, yet it doesn't muddy the rest of the mid-range frequencies and in the highs or anything like that. It just comes through clear, quick, and then it's gone. So that was quite a pleasure to listen. So in conclusion, this is far from any entry-level table in the $1,000 range that I've experienced hearing, especially owning. It is so emotive, like I said. It sounds big and dynamic. It has detail, and it has very good frequency extension. A little warm on the highs is what I noticed, but not at the expense of detail. Note that this is the version 2 of the table. Like I mentioned earlier, the version 1 and the version 2 has some significant changes or upgrades, I should say, in some cases. The tone arm has longer pins in the version 2. The motor is an improved version from on the version 2. The feet here are rubber, I noticed, versus aluminum cones in the original. So that's if you're looking to buy this table used, pay attention to that. The version 2 also has, like you can see, VPI Traveler labeled here, and I think cosmetics wise, the version 1 has a sticker up front here. I love this turntable, and it's a real treat for the ears, especially when you play records that are excellently mastered using analog tapes, and great care has been given to the pressing. Definitely stepping well into the high fidelity realm of listening experience, in my humble opinion. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please subscribe and add some comments if you have any more content to come. You'll be hearing from me soon. Thank you.